Any questions from yesterday class?
Okay, I want you to go back on
brush it up on the practical, right?
Which practical exactly?
and because the video is this morning that I downloaded and I couldn't watch it. So if you can do
Is it
a
the practicals?
just to explain like
How to create your database?
yes.
Okay, that's what I equally said. If you can brush it again, because so that we'll go, because I want to start the assignment if possible today. So today has been a very busy day. I know I do research for people, so anyway, sorry.
That's okay.
Sleep today over what? I slept around 1 yesterday.
So, like we explained from the theory, before you create a geodatabase, you must you will have a folder for your work, like the folder of what you want to do. It's very important that you organize your data as we've done so far. I believe when you go through the video, you have a better understanding. So I have created a folder called training, which you guys have GIS training folder. You right click on that folder and you scroll down to this new. Now, if you scroll down, you will see a folder, you will see file geodatabase, you see personal geodatabase, database connection, and all that. Then shapefile down here. But we are not dealing with shapefile. Our focus is on either file geodatabase or personal geodatabase. If you click on this, it will create a geodatabase. So you can right click, go to rename, and then you name it to what you're working on. And in that case, we said we're creating something on ABU. Alright? So we already have ABU. I didn't want to do that again. This is for file geodatabase. Now, if you want to create what groups them into, because it's more like you're organizing your data. Now, a file geodata, future data set is what organize them into group, which we use a case of faculties. Now, if you right click on the geodatabase, yes, you go to new again, and you see future data set. So future data set, we can just say physical science. My keyboard had issue. They've not found the keyboard. So physical underscore science. Then you go next, which we've already arranged all our coordinate system. But what we did yesterday, when you go to the video, you know, if you have forgotten how to do this, you just do that. But then our coordinate system for where we are, Kaduna State, is MENA Zone 32. Or you can go to WGS 1984 Zone 32. It's still covering the same thing. Then you click on next, next, finish. You've created a what? Future data set. And lastly, future class. Now you have to click on the future data set, which is a physical science this time around, because you're going to be creating for all faculties. So each faculty has its own department. So you right click on the future data set, which represent faculties, and you go to new, then you go to future data set. A future class, sorry. So future class, we have geology as a department, right? And the alias can still be, you can either leave it blank or you still pick the geology. And then these data types, the types that are still here, we have polygon, line, and point. These are the ideal things we use. All of these ones are replication of like the multi-point, multi-patch, are replication of these three fundamental. So if what you want to do requires you to draw line, maybe like road, maybe like river, you use line future. If it's like building, you want to digitize building, you use polygon. If you want to just pick maybe ATM machines around the campus, use point future, banks, and the rest. So do you understand?
Yeah.
So we'll pick a polygon, and we go to next, and then this place is where the database console will just say name of the student, his registration number, right? His registration number, and then picture of the department, or we can even, instead of giving details of student, we can give details of the department. Just anything that will rhyme anyway. So now here, which is picture, anything you want to add picture is a raster. So that will support you to bring in image, picture into the equation, but the reg number and name, you can leave them as text. And then you click on finished. Once you do that, you've created a future, you created a geodatabase, future data set, and future class. It's understood?
Okay, like the Faculty of Physical Science has 7 departments.
Good. So you create future class for 7 departments under physical science. Then you create, I don't know how many departments. In life science, you create all their departments. You create the future data set of life sciences and create all the departments inside as future class. Go to Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Basic Medicine, Applied Medicine, Clinical. Then you go to vet, you go to pharmaceutical science, you go to all the faculties. You create the faculty as a future data set. Then you create the department as future class. Yes. Any questions so far? No question, right? It's a refresher. So we'll continue to this one. So yesterday we end here, so I'm going to take it further, how to categorize future. So categorizing future basically helps you to, still part of what organizers, some of the advantage that a future class or geodatabase has over any data format of ArcGIS. Now, in an instance whereby you have different kinds of building, for example, like we said the other time, you have an educational building, you have residential building, you have maybe hospital, or let's say healthcare buildings, and you want to categorize them differently. You have to create what we call categorization from beginning, or in a case whereby we have road layers. You know, roads are classified into major road, minor road, and footpath. And major roads, we have highway of maybe federal classification, state classification, like that. So there, but in general, we have my expressway, major road, minor road, and footpath, thereabout. So you can also categorize it, which is what we're going to do today. So within ABU, we have all of those details involved. We have major road in ABU, we have minor road. So we're going to use road as to create this. So you will not go to future data set this time around. You will just go to, you can create a future data set for it, but I don't think there's need for it. So you come back to the geodatabase, right, click on it, then go to new. You will skip future data set, you go to future class directly. And then the name will be what? Road. And road is which feature? Which feature is road? So you select line, right? Then click on next. Now we're still within the MENA zone 32. Click on next, next, next. So here now, we're just going to say SOP types, name, because roads have name as well, right? Okay, so now under these subtypes, you change it to short integer. That's the format that is accepted for categorizing future. So subtypes, short integer. This one will remain name. Then you click on finish. That's created, right? But we are not done. You will come back to this catalog here and go to your ABU. Then you right click on the road. Then you go to properties. On properties, all of these as I use, look for subtypes. Then subtype field, you change it to subtypes. Remember we created something subtypes there. So you change it to subtypes. Now this is where you will now name all the road. You have one, we have major road, right? Major underscore road. Two is what? Underscore road. What is next?
Keyboard.
3 is footpath. Footpath. So these are the ones we have, right? Yes. So click on OK. Now once we click on OK and then we come back to the catalog, then we just drag this road and drop here. You will see this footpath, major road, minor road. Now when it is time for digitizing, if the road you want to do is a major road, you just select major road, digitize. Select minor road, digitize. So at the end of the day, your data field for all of these things will be, that's the database will be created by those digitization you do. So anytime you can call off just major road, call off minor road and the rest. Instead of coming to say, okay, I'm going to, when I'm done, I'll create another future class for major road. I'll create another future class for minor road. At the end of the day, that will complicate a lot of things. Do we understand? Now, let's do that again for, let's say, building. Right click here on the geodatabase. Go to new, go to future class. So we'll create that of building, and then building is polygon, right? So we'll go to next, we'll go to next because it's select, and then we'll go to next. And now we're also going to say name, to say whether it's an educational building or what. Or name can be maybe like, we have theaters in this school now, lecture room, and then maybe it's so kind of classroom or whatever. So, but then we want to subtypes it. So we just say subtypes. Subtypes. Which format should we change this to?
Short integer, right?
Yeah, short integer. Then we'll click on finish. We'll come to this. Right click on the building, go to properties. Then we change this to subtype. Like I said, if you're looking for subtypes or you're looking for future HTML, you have to check this. It will look like this to us until you see what you're looking for. Now we're looking for subtypes. If we're looking for those fields we created before, we just come back here because you can add field here like this from this field. So you can add it. So all of these things have their functions. Okay? So we're looking for subtypes, right? So we'll change it to subtype. So here will be our number one. We'll say 1. We say it's an educational building. So let's say educational. Educational. 2, residential. Residential. And residential can be Student commercial hall of residence or staff hall of residence. So we just say, let's make it staff hall of residence. Underscore residence. Then 3 will be student underscore residence. Since we're dealing with ABU, then what else? 4 will be what?
Administrative building.
Admin.
Senate.
Yeah. Administrative. What else? Lecture hall. Okay, those are under education. What else? Okay, 5 we can say health. Health building. Okay. Health center. Then 6. Commercial building.
You can go to the mosque.
Let's leave it 6 like that. It's a too many. So, but basically, you understand the whole essence of this categorization, so that you, once you click on OK, this will not show until you remove it and add again. So once I remove it, I drag the building back. You will see all of those from the administrative to, so once you, from the satellite image, you want to see administrative, you just digitize administrative, you change it. So when we get to digitizing, I will still emphasize on how, so we won't be creating anything. So you create everything like you see me have created and keep them, because once it is time, we will just make reference to them. Okay? So I believe it's clear, right? So, and then lastly, to create a shapefile, it's just on the folder, not on the geodatabase. On this folder, you just right click on it, and then you come to new, you come to shapefile. On the folder, not on the geodatabase, because they are two different things. So you right click on the folder of the work you're doing. Go to new, and you come to shapefile. Click on it, then you just write it. Yes, but shapefile now you create everything individually. If you are creating major road, single, minor road, single. You can't create them like together. You have to create them single, or you just create for road. Then you now have a type of the road. Then be adding either it's a major road or minor road. But now look at another thing with shapefile. You cannot even add field to it until you're done. Now let's do it. So we are saying we are doing building, right? So let's do building, and then we change it to polygon, right? Now we have to create the coordinate system. So we say new, zone 32. Then we click on OK, right? Then we click on OK. Now it has created, but you have to right click, go to properties, and open attribute. Then begin to add field. It's not like future class where you add field before you finish. So if I want to add field for name now, I'll now come and add name field. Then I'll change it to what? Text. Then I OK. I'll now come and add field again. That's after you've created the shapefile, you will now start adding names on the attribute. So let's say I want to add what kind of type of what is, so I will now say type, so that it will symbolize whether it's an education building or whatever building. Do you understand? So like that, you add them before you come and start digitizing. But on future class or the categorization, categorization can be done on the future class, and then a lot of advanced analysis and other things can be done. So have we get to see the slight difference, the major difference between the future class and the database when we are doing the theory. I explained something. I believe you've seen the practical aspect of it. All right. So, I guess we're done with that very module. So we're done with module 3, right? Okay, so this is what we'll be doing today, majorly. So we'll be working with shapefile. And in this shapefile, I want to do some of these analysis, because these are components of how to produce a very good map. Without these things, we can just hurry it up into georeferencing, digitizing, and other things, but there are little elements to which you can add up to have a better map. Now, number 1 on the list is statistics. Now, these statistics, we already know what statistics means. So each of your data has its statistics that you can recall. All right, so bring back the Nigerian file I gave you guys on your GIS. Bring the states in. Release it. Okay. What are you doing?
Am I not to bring it back to this thing?
But that's not how to bring it now.
Okay.
That was only another method I showed you while I have not we've connected folder already.
Okay.
So go back into your GIS. Go to your catalog. Go to the open the GIS this thing. What are you doing again? And expand the GIS. I know expand the Nigerian or this thing. Expand the states. Then drag and drop it. That's all. Okay, so now we want to know the statistics of this whole thing. Okay, so this is our attribute table. Well, you should know that not every... Okay, let's look at it practically first. If you right-click here, you will see the statistic field is not showing. If I right-click here also, statistic field is not showing. If I right-click here, statistic field is showing. Abi, which is this number, statistic field showing. If I right-click on this one, statistics field is not showing. If I right-click on this one, statistic field is showing. If I right-click on this one, statistic field is not showing. Now, why is that? Now, let's go to the properties and see. So if you go to property, you see that this is the file type is string. Let's check this one too. Why is the statistics not showing? The file type is what? Object ID. If I right-click on this one, statistic field is showing. What is the object type? Long. So it means there are some certain data set that statistic tool does not work on. Let's come to this length and see. You see the statistic field is showing. And the properties is that it is on double. So strings and object ID does not support statistics. So ideally strings are basically most of those automatic created this thing like the FID, the shape, most of those ones are coming from strings and all that. If I also do that on this field, you see the statistics is showing. And if we check the properties of it, we'll see that it is float. So any of these things, anyone that you right click and you don't see statistics, is either it's a strings or an object ID. All right. So now I want to know the statistics of the areas of each of the states. So when we right click here on the area now, we right click and then we click on statistics. So you see the statistics. So it's telling you that there are 38. Now on this 38, I don't know why it's 38. Okay, because of there's F0, which is not part of the whole thing. We have 37 now, Abuja and the other ones, yeah. So, and then the minimum is this, and the minimum in the area is this. You can see. The maximum is this. Then the sum is this. The mean is this. The standard deviation and the null value. So you can check statistics of any of your data within the shortest period of time. As you just click on the data and bam. Let's say we want to do, you see this is the calculated area. This one is the area that they generate by themselves. So let's try statistics of this and see. See that it's still showing it at 8, 0 is this, 5, whatever. So within the few period, it shows you the information of what you're looking for. So this is how you can easily check statistics of any of your data that you have. Do we understand?
Sir, we have the map of Nigeria now.
Yes.
So let's assume we want to check the statistic of population in the whole of Nigeria.
You must have a population field that has the population data. Do you understand? You must have a population field for, then you fill in the population of each state. Then you can easily do that. Until what you must have the information you're looking for inside your data, because at the end of the day, you're the creator, isn't it? You're the one creating the information. That's why we are looking at, this was supposed to be assumed that, okay, we've created all of these things ourselves. But at the end of the day, we'll still repeat some of these things when we create those data ourselves. But this is where we're going to take them intensively, because it is where we're covering. But at the end of the day, we just apply it. So we take our time to point out some of these vital facts before we proceed into all of that. So anything you are querying or anything you are getting from this place must be in your attribute table. So we can create population field and begin to fill all the population of the country, which we don't have on this very reasonable. You can check that population. I think I have a data that has, but not Nigeria anyway.
So it means this table now
Yes.
is your own data.
It's not my own data. I told you it's a Nigerian data. It's from the Office of the Survey General.
Okay. Maybe that's what I mean. Like you got it.
Yes. Yes.
Now one experience.
Okay.
It means that everything that has a value,
Yes.
we can now know the statistic.
Yes.
But everything that has a name or another things cannot.
No, actually, it's all about the data format. If you right click on this, you see the statistics is showing. If you come to properties, look at the data type, double. But any strings file will not show. So come to here, it's not showing. If you check it, it's a string file or object ID. So that is why it's not showing. You understand? So any file that is either short integer, strings, they will work. Yes. So we understand, right? So let's go to the next item. The next item is field calculator. So field calculator is basically taking the functions of the normal calculator will press. But this time around, it helps us to get other information. So when you right click and go to your attribute table, you should be doing it to go to your attribute table, and you will create a new field. Let's create a new field. Add a new field. Let's call it distance. Let's leave it either float or double, anyone. So have we created that? Okay. Click on it like this, let it turn blue as we normally do. Then right click on it. Go to field calculator. You create a field. Add field. Distance. Double. Have you created? Okay. Alright. Okay, so you do as usual. You click on that field, make it blue, then right click on it. The field you created now. Should you say you've created the field? Drag it to the end. Let's see. Then right click on it. Go to field calculator. Now the distance of travels, let's say actually ideally we have roads that have 4,000 per hour, we have roads that are different classification. So we're also going to use one instance, which is, let's use 4,000. Put 40,000. That's 40 kilometers per hour, which is like every road. I think every road is, I think, in that classification. So the speed limit is very low. And when you click on OK, it's going to add 40 for all the one we have here. Calculate and add it. So you've seen that. Now go back there, right click again, and go back to field calculator. Here you can just say logarithm of area. You can basically do any mathematical analysis, like you say log of area. Yeah. Right click there again. Go back to the field calculator. Do log of, remove that one. Yeah. Remove everything first. So do the log again of area. Find area, look for the area. You're not typing it. You're not typing it. Yes. So you say log of area. So we have shape area. When you double click on this and OK, it's going to do log of the area. Let's go back there again.
Okay.
Click on OK. Yeah. You see, it has done log of the area. Right click on it again. Click on that, make it. Right click. Now let's say we do clean it. Any kind of mathematical expression you have, square of the area or shape area. Remove everything first. Square of the area It has squared the area. So, have you done yours? So basically, this is what you can use field calculator for, just to do any mathematical calculation that will have taken you time or calculator to do, and then for each place, bam, you do it one time. It gives you everything. So this is a basic function of the field calculator. Are we together? So next is creating graphs. I think we did something of this nature when we started, Abby. Well, if we didn't do, to create a graph, you just click on this here, this place. So first, make this place out first. Remove the dark blue, this thing. Just click by, click one side. Now click the other one. So, you click on this place, this option, table options, then you come down to create graphs. So on create graphs, which kind of graphs do you want to create? Whether it's a bar mean, a maximum, horizontal bar, histogram, vertical line, horizontal, scatter plot, pie. You choose the type of graphs you want to create. Now, you choose the field that you want to use in creating the graph. Let's say area, right? Yes. Once you click on it, then they ask, you say?
There's two shape areas, shape
Yes.
dot area.
Just click on anyone.
Let's see. I use scatter here.
Scatter plot. Yes. There's any type of graph you selected, there's no problem. Then you come down to add X field. Each of them has a different. If you choose a scatter plot, better choose the one we are using so that you see the difference. We are using pi now. So pi has a sort field, a value field. We choose area. Right? So you see that it is out. Now they're asking you for sort field. Let's follow from here. So a sort field, you can just pick any field, like maybe, let's say, just pick maybe name 1. This is because this data is not really meant for all of these. That's why we're just using a hand. So now, once you've done that, label field, you choose a field to label it. Let's say name 1. So it has named all of them. Okay? Once you choose a label field, you see that the labels will come out. So this, yeah. Now, when you come down, you look at here, they say, so you want to, the color now, the color you want to do. So I choose a color palette. I choose a color palette. If you do this one, it's going to name everything, like it's going to add all of the labels, but it's not going to make the work, so you remove this one. If you don't want legend, you remove legend so that the thing can be big. But if you want legend, which is this, you check the legend. Are we together? Now, these are also the types of this will be changing by that. That is, if you don't want to use this color palette, you can use classic or use rainbow or just anyone where you pick to change to that. Here. Go down. Under colors. See color palette now. Change it. Change it from here to color palette for that other one to come out. Excel will come out. Then either choose any color of your choice within that side. So until you select color palette, you won't see the other one. So once you select, you now make a choice of any of these ones here. Once you have done that, you click next. Now on next now, you have the choice to make the graph a 3D. Click on next. Next. No, not finish. Go back. Back. You go back. See back now. So you see, okay, where are you now? Okay, go to next.
Yeah.
Yes. So see up, graph in 3D view. Up. Yes, a graph in 3D view. So you see that your graph has been converted to 3D view. Now, you want to give it a title. You see that this is the title. Once you change it, say area or graph of area or something, you see that this thing will be under title. See, yes. Have you seen? I just put area. So graph of area or anything of your choice. So once we've done that, any information you want to fill, you want the graph. You see, you can if you want the legend to be at the top while the graph day down, you just make a selection from here. Anything you select. So you see, so you just follow through this and play around along with it, and then when you're done, you just click on finish. Once you click finish, see your graph will appear here. Click on finish and see. So your graph will appear here. So you can right click on it and export. So this, you can export it and then add it to your data on Microsoft Word. So this is how you can create graphs from this whole ArcGIS thing. So depending on, when you have the data, like maybe you did line cover, you have the area, you can make the graphs instead of taking them to Excel where you can copy the area, you can just quickly do it here without taking it anywhere. And whatever you do, you can just export it and then add it to your work. Are we together?
So now I can see finish here.
Yes, click on finish. Then you can right click on it and export. So you can export it, go down, export it and keep. Do you understand? So see all the formats you need to export. You can export as JPEG, export as all of those formats, depending on what you want to export. All right, so that is that for graphs.
See how you can scatter your porosity, your permeability.
So the next we'll be looking at is how to change color of polygon selection. Now we have this, right? You remember we did some selection. Yeah. Look, we're going further so that you don't get behind. Close everything there. Close this one first. Close that one. So we did some of this selection at the beginning, where we make selections like this. All right. Now you can actually change the color of just this place, leaving this one like this. Let's say the entire color is in holo, like we've done before, right? For a study area map, for example. So, and we're using Taraba. We want to color Taraba since it's part is the study area, and we just want to color Taraba without affecting this one. You right click, go to properties. Right click and go to select any of your choice. Select any state of your choice. You have to click on selection first.
Good morning, sir.
You've not clicked on selection now.
I came and you were not around.
Alright, so right click now. Go to properties. Then you go to selection. Properties, then selection. Now, you see it's check and using the selection color specify in selection option. So if it is this up one, you click like this and you select any color. Where are you? Go to why are you canceling it?
I did not see what I properties, right?
Selection. That's why I say anytime we come here, if your sister, you check through to see what I just called. So you will see this, check the first one, then click on the middle. And select any color of your choice. Select any color. Alright, so once you do that, you click on OK. Click on OK again. Why is yours not selected? Right, click on it again. Why is yours not selected? Click on selection again. And it's actually selected. Click here. Leave it like that. Is it the same color you selected?
No, I selected blue.
See now.
Okay, I think I just use OK instead of apply.
So did you see how you can select just a specific place from the database? So this is how you can select just because it's selected. Like now, if you export this now, they'll know that this is your focus area, even though it's coming from Nigeria, right? So there are different ways, you can put these pieces together and do your study area map in different ways. I've shown you how you can do that. You can pieces and do it in a different way, all right? So if that is understood, we will move to the next item. Good. Shapefile transparency. Or better still, let's do chlorophyll mapping first before we do shapefile transparency. All right. Chlorophyll mapping. This one is very vital for you guys. Now, I believe your geologic kind of color has colorams that it follows. So let's use Nigeria as a case study now. We have 37 states, 37 states with FCT, right? Now, what we want to do is that we want to have each state will have a different color. So to do that, right-click on the Nigerian map. Right-click, go to Properties. So once it is there, you go to Symbology. On Symbology, you go to Categories. Then you select Unique Values to Mini-Fill. Sorry, just Unique Values. Leave it at Unique Values. Then you click on Value Fill. You see a drop down there, Unique Value Fill, yes. Select Name 1, which is, select Name 1. Have you done that? Change the value field to Name 1. No, Value Fill, change it to Name 1. Have you done that? Then click on Add All Values. No, Add All Value, not Add Value. Add All Value, the first one. Now come up here. Okay, basically you see that a coloram has been selected for it. You can also change your own coloram the way you want it, which is all of this. You make a choice of the coloram, but choose a coloram that is not sharp to the eye. So you see, we have all of this coloram for each of them, which you can do for your kind of works. Did you see? Is it making sense? So this is chlorophyll mapping. You can have different color selected for yourself. All right? So now, let's add the transparency to it. Right-click on it again, transparency of a data. You see the way these colors are, right? If you print it like this, it's not going to come out that nice until you've done transparency. So we go to Properties, right-click and go to Properties. Then you go to Display. So on Display, you see transparency up. I say Display. You go to these properties here where you see transparent, right? Make your transparent 20%. 20%. And click OK. See transparent now, make it 20%. It's 0 currently. Now let's say you make it 20, click on OK. You see that it does something to the colors. You just reduce it so that when you print, it will not just splash. It will just have an effect. That is one application of transparency. So it will just reduce this sharpness that, like, when on one color is trying to overshadow the other one. Yeah, just blend them in the same way.
I cannot pass you.
Yes. Yes, that is the idea. This is one application. Now, the second application you can apply this thing to is in the case whereby you have road layers, or you have buildings, or you have any feature. Let's say, when you're doing, what did they call it? Street guide map. In street guide map, you have roads of different categories. Then you now begin to have shops and the rest. But this time around, you now added building. If you look Google Map, you see that they are building, but the building are faded. The building are not showing. You are seeing that this is a building, but it's not showing that it's the main thing. So you can apply that with it. Let me show you an example. On this web map I did. So look at this. You can see that there are buildings. See the buildings, but it's not really showing pop as if Nahim be the priority thing here. It's showing that it shows you that they are building behind, but the roads and other things are showing well. So that's another way you can use transparency. So you see, these are actually the building. Everything here is showing all the buildings in Tudunwada, Zaria. So you can see. But the building are not really showing as if them be the main factor. So you can use transparency. Now this transparency I use here is 80%. So for that you can use between 60 to 80%. So if I right click now, go to properties, and change my transparency to 80, you will see what it will do to this thing. You see that it's not really, it's showing, or it's still there, but it's not really that visible. Do you get? So the only one that is showing is this one. Anyone you selected. Do you get the concept? So this is how you can apply transparency and color-fed mapping, and you can use it for a different kind of work you intend to do. Just to make sure, okay, this is the detail I'm trying to show. These ones are there, yeah. If you allow the buildings to show and everything to show, it to be shouty, rowdy. But when you make the building go down, others go up, it brings out the beauty in the work, thereby allowing you to see that, okay, there are other features. So not that this place is plain. I think there's this work I did, but I don't think it's in my hard drive. I did a tourist guide map of Lagos, Etiosa, Lagos. Now, in that river, so there's so much rivers in Etiosa. Now, if I did not add the river data, you will see as if the whole thing is empty. And somebody may ask, is this place, are you trying to say there's nobody that is living here in Lagos? Because number one, he's not seeing the water body there. So when I put the water body, then I put all the built up. Then I made the built up transparent. It now brings out that, okay, there are other things, but these are not the main focus of this map. So the tool that you use to do that is transparent. So I hope we are getting the gist. It's all right. So you can return this back to normal, so that just make it 0, the transparency. Make the transparency 0 and remove this selection, so that this one. You go to the selection and then right click on it, go to properties. Then go to selection. Wait, before you click OK, go to selection. Then click the first one. The first one, no. Cancel this. The first, this thing, check that box. No, box. Yes, then click OK. Okay, so you can now easily just deselect so that this selection will go, right? Yeah, so we are together, Abby? So. No, just click here now to deselect. You've forgotten. That's why we've applied. We're applying this thing over because we've done it.
Am I okay?
You deselect here. Then you click. So just know that this tool, those tools we first thought about, they are very important. We'll be using this tool, all these tools, all the time. So, any question? Before we do the last thing for today.
One question now is, for we now in geology that if we are digitizing a map, let's say geological map.
We are not yet up to place of digitization.
I'm just trying to talk about the application of color now.
When we get there, you should jot that question down so that I will not explain, then explain again.
Okay.
You understand? Just jot down the question. When we reach the digitization place, definitely I may even talk about it without even you asking. So it's all right. So the last thing is data type. We've been using them often, but I just felt like we should talk about it a bit. We've talked about it when we were doing statistics, and then basically the data type here is not the general data type. It's actually focused on the data type when you're adding field. Now, see all these data types. They are very important. Whichever one you choose, it's very important. So the assignment for this module is to look at all of these data types, but not from this angle. Let's look at it from the other angle since we're using future class. Let's look at it from this angle. Let's look at it from this angle. The data type, jot them down. We have short integer, long integer, float, double, text, date, blob, girl, and raster. So you need to go read about them and what are their application when creating future class. Because this will help you. I think I will find I used to have one material like that. I'll also send it to you guys. So, just look at all of these data type while creating future class, and then look at what each of them are, their application are. Yes. So each of what their applications are, and how are they useful? Because if we understand this data type, we will know exactly which data to use when we're creating. You know, we've just talked about a few of them, what short integer is being used for, but I believe short integer have more than one application, right? So let's look at all how we can apply each of these data types. That will help us to have a better understanding of these things. And mind you, anything we learn here, let's not limit it to just one thing, because you can do as many things with it as possible. So let's look at them from a wider audience view. Let's look at it from a very wide field of view, knowing that, you know, GIS can be applied in virtually every field, from economics to medicine to any application you can think of. It's a tool for decision making. It's not just say na geography get them or na geomatics get them. It's applied in varieties of virtually in all fields of life. But it depends on what you want to use it for. But when you are learning it as a skill, you learn it for everything. So that when anybody come, like yesterday, I received someone came from one of my students from the GIS class in environmental design. He came with a work from water resources. And it's something I can do. But I'm from geomatics. Will I now say, I don't know how to do this because I'm from geomatics? No. You learn it for a wider audience so that anybody from any field can come and say, this is what I have. You can say, I can do it for you. Because at the end of the day, anything that will put food on the table, it's not about just what you study. You can apply what you study to making it better. So let's learn it with a wide field of view. Let's not just limit it. I'm not saying we're learning it to enhance our professional career, but let's learn it with a wider field of application that we can apply it in geography, in geomatics, in mining, engineering, and in different fields. Okay? And then let's try our best. See, for the past 10 years, if they are to aggregate the number of days that I did not open this software, I don't think it will be up to 2 months. In 10 years. So, the little time you spend on this daily, aside this training, just schedule 30 to 1 hour practicing things we've done, one thing or the other, 30 to 1 hour in a day. Just schedule a time, 30 to 1 hour every day as a discipline. I'm giving you an assurance, guarantee. I was in class like this 10 years ago. I learned this. It's not as if I came with it. I didn't learn them in school. I went and sat under someone. I learned this. And then, when I learned this, I was not even fully into geomatics like that. Because I was just in ND1. I went for IT. Then I learned this. So I never even really understand all the concept. But because I was practicing. It was when I entered 100 level here that I started this YouTube channel you're seeing today. Started it in 100 level. And at least today we are seeing a good number of results. So please, let's give it time. It's not just coming to sit, we spend 2 hours, 1 hour and all that, and then we leave everything and come back tomorrow. No. The more we put this into practice, the better the chances. There are quite a lot of things that I am teaching you here that you will not find. Why? I discovered them myself. Some people have not been able to make videos of it. Some people still believe that if they keep it to themselves. I searched for that thing for 4 years on YouTube every day. I did not see it. One day, while I was working on the map of Taraba State, I think it was just a mistake. I just right-click. I don't know what happened the next thing. Bam. I brought another thing. I redo it. Then I saw that I could edit legend. I could break them into pieces and edit them to myself. That's how I was able to create. Because for the longest, I've been wondering how you can create this kind of legend in map. Where's Taraba State 2? Okay. Let me open this one. For the longest, I've wondered how to create a legend whereby you have, because the GIS one, if it is polygon, it's going to come for you as polygon, a box. I've been wondering how you can create it with whatever you want. I've been wondering for the longest. It was accidental that I learned that. Accidental. So, why? Because I've always been in tune, trying to learn, trying to get this like that, and God just helped me one day. It became accident, and then from accident to it being part of my experience. So the longer time we spend on this software, the better the chances of improving and doing well. Urban told me that if I come to your country, I'm going to make more money. So he told me that after, he told me that I'm going to be earning 800 cipher. And we converted it to Naira. It was not small money. So please, let's take it serious and see how well we can make it, because the truth is the course is bulky. Yes. You can see we're in module 5. The reason why I didn't touch this module is the same thing we've been doing. We just put it into a software. So it's the same thing. This catalog is what we've been doing now. So that's the reason why but I will definitely maybe show you how to do this. Just to observe. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. We've done them over and over. All right, so that's why I skipped module 4. So we're just in module 5. Module 6 is where we'll start georeferencing. And then module 7, digitizing. Module 8, map tracing. Like that. And then you see from here like this now. We'll be taking 2, 3, 4 days to finish these modules. These modules are bulky. We're just in the short modules. I think from this 1, 2, 3, these modules are bulky. And then this one is something we can do maybe in 2 days or 1 day. But you see these ones here, these modules, we would spend time there also. So you see that we still have a lot to cover. But then it is expedient that as we cover up, we should also try to put ourselves together and see how to get this done and all that. I'm waiting for this to open so that we could see, since I can't see I think I've copied out the Taraba, this thing. Okay, it's still here, sorry. So, now, this is what I wanted to show you guys. It was by accident I learned how to do this thing like this. It was by accident. By accident. Because this is how basically the ArcGIS this thing comes on. When you're producing, but until you edit it, you won't be able to fix in these things like this. Do you understand? So it was by accident I was able to edit this thing, type what I want, do all of these things by accident. So let's put in effort and see how we can maximize this opportunity and this space we have to learn from each other. So while I'm teaching, I'll definitely get some other things as well. So it's not that I'm only... So definitely that's how learning happens. It's both ways. Okay, so I will leave you guys to finish up all of these things. I'm not sure we are meeting tomorrow. Just I have an appointment with my supervisors. So tomorrow, let's use tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday to cover up whatever we've done at the course of the week. Then we'll continue from Monday.
So we're meeting on Monday.
Yes.